Welcome to the HR Happy Hour work break. You're here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Trish, what's happening?
That was not a lot, but that was weird because you always kind of laugh when I say, hey, Steve Bose, but I am so used to saying your first and last name that when I just say, hey, Steve, it just sounds kind of weird to me. So,
Yeah, either one.
hey, Steve Bose.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm well. Yeah, thank you for Wednesday, midweek. Just
Ah,
plowing through the week. Excited that our new podcast dropped this morning with our
it,
friends at Culture Amp, Ken Matos, talking about the workforce and engagement and retention and the Great Resignation. So that is available on the HR Happy Hour podcast this morning.
it is. And you know what? I know that those topics, people might think like, oh, great, another podcast about engagement. But he is truly, it is a different show. He really has some current research that the findings were very different. And that was one, and not that we don't like all the episodes we record, but I know that was one when we got off the phone with him. Like it was hard to end the show.
Yeah, it's a really good
It was
show.
so interesting. So yeah, I encourage people, even if you think the topic might be something, well, I've already heard it all. Guarantee you have not. He really, I don't want to give it away, but he gave me a few ideas from what he was talking about that really just like monumentally changed the way I think about work. So
Yeah, and we've
it's a
got a
good one.
great show coming up. I don't want to give it away completely, but we've got a great show. We just booked it. I don't want to say who just yet, but
Mhm.
we will be having shortly the CHRO of a really, really massive
Yeah.
technology company coming on to talk about some of the same types of
Mhm.
topics, but from her perspective as a
Exactly.
CHRO of a really, really big tech company that's really struggling. I'm not saying they're struggling, but like many companies are struggling
Right.
with hiring people and retaining people. So we're gonna hear the CHRO's perspective on it as well in a couple of weeks too. So that's gonna be fun.
Yes. And you know what? I don't know. I feel like we go through times where, yeah, the shows are good, they're fine. But like I feel like lately these have been like we've been really lucky. And last night, can we just give a shout out to our friends Ian and Tony from the Waterloo Table Talk podcast? And we recorded live with them, and it was so fun. They're high school seniors. They have their own podcast, and yeah, that one will be coming out in about a week. So that was a
Yeah, it's tough.
really good episode. So yeah, I like that we're hearing from all different levels of people, you know, whether you're in an organization or you're just new to the work world. And yeah, that's been
Mhm.
kind of fun. So
Yeah.
anyway, hey, listen, speaking of fun, do you want to know what I want to do that's fun in this next week?
Um,
I don't think you can guess.
Play croquet. That's very fun.
No, but that's a great guess.
Okay.
No, I want to go see. There is a new Ghostbusters movie. Have you seen the previews yet?
I have not actually. This is news
Yes.
to me.
New Ghostbusters movie. Now, I don't know how you feel about it's not really a remake. It sounds like it's like a continuation, but I'd skipped there was a Ghostbusters movie, I think, with all women recently.
There was a few years ago. Yeah.
I I was not into that. This one is starring Paul Rudd, who I love. And
Sexiest man alive, we learned recently. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Who would not want to see Ghostbusters? But anyway, it comes out, I think, tomorrow. So
Cool.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. But I was gonna ask you, it got me thinking about movies and Thanksgiving's coming. Do you watch like any Thanksgiving movies? Do you have like a favorite Thanksgiving movie?
I don't know. Is there a Thanksgiving movie? I'm not sure there. I mean, I don't know. I
There
guess I don't know.
is, and people forget about it because see,
Okay.
at this phase of the year, we're already into the Christmas movies, and I've watched a few. I'm guilty. We've done Elf, right? We reviewed Elf for the
That's true.
Workplace Movie Hall of Fame, but no, the Thanksgiving movie that you have to watch is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, was that Thanksgiving? I really barely remember that movie. So that
Watch
was the reason
that
they
movie.
were on all those
Yeah.
modes of transportation. It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was Thanksgiving, and John Candy did not have anywhere to go back home to. And so as
Oh,
he and Steve Martin are kind of going through all of these different modes of transportation to get to their respective homes, the whole story is that Steve Martin figures out John Candy really doesn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving. So it's kind of all about
spoiler alert. Come
no,
on.
I don't if you've told me you cannot have a spoiler alert on like a 30-year-old
No,
movie.
you can't. You
I
really
don't
can't.
even know. What year did that come out, do you think? In the 80s? I don't
18,
know.
20, I think. Yeah.
1820.
I didn't realize it was
Anyway,
Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll have to check that one out. Yeah.
yeah, so people need to revisit Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Those are my two movie reviews. One new one we gotta go see is Ghostbusters, and then Planes, trains, and automobiles.
I've got a
Yeah.
holiday item for you, Trish.
Oh,
Not
what's that?
Thanksgiving, but
Okay.
Trish, this is news. This is fairly recent news, maybe
Okay.
yesterday. Trish, New York City officials announced that spectators, the public essentially,
Right.
can return to Times Square this New Year's Eve
Really?
if they provide proof of vaccination and a photo ID. They're opening Times Square back up to the crowds for New Year's Eve to watch the ball drop. Trish, have you ever in the past done the Times Square New Year's Eve thing?
I have not. I don't think I would want to. It always looks fun, but super scary with all those people in that tight little space. But all right, here's my question. How do you keep people out of Times Square enough to check vaccination cards to get in? It's like blocks and blocks, right? Are they
Yeah,
going
well,
to have it all?
typically, from what I recall, the police will block off the streets for at a pretty wide perimeter around that area. And so, yeah, they keep a pretty tight lid on it, even in prior years before pandemic and everything. So,
But if you're already staying at those hotels, you're already in one of those businesses.
yeah,
How are they gonna?
I'm not sure how that part of it works, but
I don't know. I'm not sure I buy that they're going to be able to check all those vaccination cards.
but a couple months ago, right before HR Tech, I went to the Raiders game in Las Vegas, and I was skeptical that they were going to be able to scan and check 60,000 spectators to go into that stadium, and they did that. I mean, I know that's much more controlled about where the entrances to the stadium are, but still, that seemed crazy to me that was going to work, and it did. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it can happen.
Do you really need to show proof of vaccination for outside? Like, are we there now again? Like, again, it's
I read on Times Square you do.
It's like, okay, so some places I can be outside with no vaccination or no card or no proof. If I go there, I have to. It's just weird to me. Like, I went to.
You know where you can't do much of anything if you're unvaccinated, Trish?
What?
Austria. If you
really?
have to, yeah. So Austria, Trish, is actually locking down unvaccinated people because the outbreaks in Europe are continuing, and it's kind of bad over there in many countries, Germany as well, and they're considering this too. But if you're unvaccinated, Trish, in Austria, you can only leave your home for a period. I think it's a 2-week period right now for essential reasons. Basically, you can go to work, you can go to school, and maybe you can, I don't know, walk your dog.
But again, if you if we're really worried about this disease and you let someone leave their house but only go to work, they're still out. They're still outside. They're still in the public. They're still out. What?
I don't make the rule.
I
don't make the rules in Austria, Trish. I just report them. Sorry.
I know. I'm frustrated. I do believe in vaccinations. I do have one, so don't hate me, world, because of that. But I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like I went to a Blues game the other day, St. Louis Blues. Mm-hmm. You had to show your vaccination card, right? You have to show your vaccination card, your ID to prove it's you. Great. Mask on to go through the metal detector. And as soon as you're through the metal detector, you can take your mask off.
Yeah, I mean, that was similar to the Raiders game, right? If you sort of proved your vaccination status, we went to the game and you were kind of free and clear once you were inside. I get
that. But again, like there, it was like, but you still had to put a mask on just to go through a metal detector, which has nothing to do.
Yeah, I can't explain that, Trish.
I'm just saying. I think places are making up their own rules, and it's just weird. So
probably, yeah.
I guess my answer is then don't go. If I don't like the rules,
something more fun. I feel like maybe I mentioned this, maybe I didn't. Did I mention the Egg McMuffin story on Monday?
No.
I can't remember now.
What's up with Egg McMuffins?
I'll mention it today.
Oh, great.
Tomorrow, Trish, we're recording this on a Wednesday, November 17th.
We are.
Tomorrow, Thursday, November 18th, McDonald's will be selling the iconic Egg McMuffin breakfast sandwich for one day only.
Okay.
At its original price, Trish, from its debut 50 years ago, Trish. 50 years ago.
Am I going to guess the price?
Go ahead. What was the Egg McMuffin priced at 1971?
50 years ago? Oh, 1971. Okay. Okay, let me think.
Did I do the math right?
Yeah, I don't know what it costs now. I'm guessing it costs $2 or $3 now. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say 79 cents.
That is very close, Trish.
Is it close?
according to my notes here, 63 cents, which is kind of a weird
Really?
price for an item like that, but 63 cents tomorrow morning only, using the McDonald's app only, which I know you've talked about on the show and
Love
you're
it.
a fan of. You must order your 63-cent Egg McMuffin tomorrow morning only for 63 cents. Trish, I hope you get one tomorrow morning.
I probably
Get
will
one.
not. But
Get
yes,
one
I
for
will
me.
say I'm not a huge fan of fast food, but I do like the McDonald's app because you can customize your food choices. So you can put lettuce and tomato on things. You can put Big Mac sauce on anything. It's a
Oh,
great
that's
thing.
pretty cool.
And you get
Okay.
free stuff, free food.
I'm
Anyway.
waiting. I'll probably go back when the Shamrock Shakes come out. That's probably my
Yeah,
next trip to McDonald's.
I figured. Well, you've got a few months then.
Good.
All right. Hey, listen, why don't we wrap it for now? We will be back here with everyone on Friday. Have a good rest of your week. Have a great Wednesday. Definitely listen to the podcast episode that Steve mentioned from our friends at Culture Amp. And we will see you back here on Friday.